Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So, another maintenance has passed. Extended, but it has passed, which means we have another maintenance video for you guys today. We go over the patch notes, check out everything you guys need to know post maintenance. What's today's video? This is January 21st, 2024. But if you guys are new to the channel, hi, I'm Chrono. I cover PSO2 content. Would much appreciate a subscribe to work our way towards that 10K mark, hopefully by the end of this year. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So we did have an extended maintenance for the first time in a long time. I mean, a long time. I mean, like, I literally can't remember the last time we had extended maintenance, but people complained all the same. It was extended by about 3 hours. It looks like nothing too terribly bad. Not sure why I was extended, though. If it was for the stupid eyelashes, that would have been hilarious. I highly doubt that's the case, but we'll see either way. But let's pop over to the NGS site and take a look at the articles. All right, so here we are over on the NGS site. In case you're wondering yourself, why would I sit here and listen to someone else read me patch notes? I can read myself. Good point. You can check them out yourself. I'll leave links to all the relevant information in the video description. Feel free to go through it at your own leisure. But if you guys, rather have someone read it to you, well, then stick around. We all know reading is not everyone's strongest suit, even my own, actually. So I'm not sure why I do these videos, but it's fun to go through them with you guys and give my thoughts on what the patch notes are. All the relevant information usually is posted right here. Everything's got a little dot next to it because it's new. And it's also dated, so you can tell exactly when it popped up. So let's start with the obvious, the update details. If there are any patch note specifics or any system changes, you'll usually find them right under here. And as we have some changes with Rayjord and all that good stuff, we will be seeing some changes here. So let's go over what it says. So Rayjord balance adjustments. So class skill adjustments, the following adjustments will be made to the Rayjord class skills. Blight rounds got an increased motion speed and relaxed weapon action cancel timing. Launcher blight rounds looks like same thing, along with sidestep cancel timing. Wide range blight rounds, same thing. So okay, so they just got extended attack range. And then launcher charge grouping, increased potency and adjusted the potency allocation, which usually when they refer to potency allocation, they're talking about moving around where the damage is dealt, not like removing damage or adding damage, but like just reshuffling where the damage is at, either making it more front loaded or more back loaded. Don't know what it is. We'll have to see in game. And then launcher charge grouping, increase the potency and adjusted the potency allocation, increase PP recovery amount. So the PP recovery amount is what also increased there. So assault rifle changes, adjusted attack effects. We knew that was coming. And then there's some adjustments for photon arts. So raising shot, change specifications to now allow charging up to 2 levels, increased potency and adjusted potency allocation, relaxed weapon action cancellation timing when not charging. Homing darts expanded lock-on range, increased the maximum number of lock-on targets, so you'll be able to lock onto more with homing darts. Interesting. Blaze shot increased turning speed while holding down the button, relaxed sidestep weapon cancel timing, and then relaxed weapon action cancel timing, which just refers to being able to cancel the ability with sidestep and weapon action more or easier, essentially. And then revolt aim, increase the charge amount of rifle attack impact gauge. Increase the charge amount. Oh, okay. So it helps you build your impact attack faster. So I think that's what that's trying to say. Yeah. Launcher adjustments, adjusted attack effects for launcher's normal attack, increased potency when charged, and adjusted potency allocation. For launcher's normal attack, increased PP recovery amount when charged, so you get more PP back as well from your normals, and increased motion speed for the launcher's weapon action. So this also just increased the how fast it goes with the weapon action. So that's cool. Fallen impact got an attack range increase. Fear Eraser got increased potency and adjusted the potency allocation, so they increased some damage and moved around where the damage is done. Changed the forward guard point on the completion to an omnidirectional guard point, so now you have a full omnidirectional guard point, not just from the front, which basically means that you guard attacks from all around you instead of just from right in front of you, which I feel like they're going to start doing more and more as more classes move forward. I guess they just feel like a frontal guard frame isn't fair, or a frontal guard isn't fair, or whatever. They're just giving all around or omnidirectional guard to everyone ever since they started giving it to Braver. So good for everyone else. Kind of sucks for Hunter, because that was kind of the thing that they had back in base, but now everyone seems to have it. Multi-launch, increase motion speed at activation. Change the forward guard point on completion to omnidirectional guard point. There you go, another one. Divine impact. Change specifications to allow charging up to 2 levels, increase potency and adjusted potency allocation, and then change the forward guard point to omnidirectional guard point for both. Okay. Gunner balance adjustments, class skill adjustments. These are gunner changes. Following adjustments made to gunner class skills. So rising drive. Change specifications to allow for up to 2 consecutive activations. Change specifications so that the altitude gain is reduced when there are no enemies nearby. Stylish roll arts. Increase potency of stylish roll arts and expanded attack range while chain boosting. So stylish roll is now going to be larger and is going to do more damage. So that's good. Stylish onslaught. Change specifications so that PP is not consumed at activation. And change specifications so that PP is recovered when attacks hit. Interesting. Okay. Hold on. Stylish onslaught. We'll have to look at that in game more. Twin machine gun balance adjustments. So you adjusted attack effects, of course. Increase the potency from twin machine guns normal attacks. So normal's got a bump in damage. Potency got increased for sidestep strikes. Potency increase for normal attacks during the twin machine gun's weapon action. So potency bump there as well. Looks like point blank was the only PA that got adjusted. So point blank increased the movement speed when pressing the forward directional input. Change specifications to also allow up and down movement when pressing forward directional input during lock on or over the shoulder when there's a target present at an omnidirectional guard point during the approach motion. Okay, so now it has omnidirectional as well. Yeah, that's the gunner and ranger changes. Not what I had hoped for a gunner, to be perfectly honest, but there are some changes that might cause them not to be as reliant on rifle. We'll have to see how that actually that shakes up. Maybe we'll have another talk with Helvian and see what he has to say. Enemies. Regular enemies of the same level as dread enemies in Aelio Kavaris region no longer spawn in the surrounding areas. Hold on. Regular enemies of the same level as the dread enemies in the Aelio and Kavaris region no longer spawn in the surrounding area. Okay, so making it so enemies don't spawn around the dreads, making it so you're more focused on the actual dread enemies. So that's pretty cool. The rate at quest and fields. The rate that trials occur has been increased for some exploration sectors in the Aelio and Radom region and Kavaris region. This is very good. Honestly, this is like an objective W, because trials are what help you get your PSE bursts, and honestly, PSEs are kind of annoying to farm at the moment, so hopefully that does make some changes. The number of times after a player will automatically leave when disagree is selected for quest meters has been changed from 5 to 2 times. The number of times after which players will automatically leave when disagree is selected for, okay, I see. Specifications have been changed so that the waiting time before a quest starts. Participating players have finished loading is reduced. So in yellows, purples, and looks like Trania, bunker type 2 or no tower, it looks like you don't have to wait the full 30 seconds, I guess, now after everyone's loaded. The rate at which some items may be attained as rewards for the following trials has been increased. Cold photon, okay, and blizzard zone enemy suppression. Okay, so that's cool. Specifications have been changed for field race dash. The player automatically gets off of the floating board in case they complete the race while still on it. Didn't know that was a problem. I thought you always knocked you off the board as soon as you finish the race. Specifications have been changed so that some objects in training target can be marked using the Waker class skill, treble clef marking. Okay, so that's nice. Now you guys actually can use the training dummies. Specifications have been changed for some objects so that they are not affected by vortexes from the class vortexes from class skills. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Someone's gonna have to let me know about this one. Dash strings have been added in areas for Belagana Ruins and the Belagana Ruins combat sector. Cool, I guess. The interval between spawns has been shortened for ancient enemies that appear in the Rayjord Gorge exploration sector. That's objectively a W. Interface, overlapping objects with cursor when the player's icon is close to the object in the world map has been made easier. That's nice. A temporarily save camera settings option has been added to easy photo mode. Okay, I saw about that. That was pretty cool. Specifications have been changed so that gameplay tips will be shown when new/recurring player icon is in the option is set to display for returning players as well. Okay, so this is just when new/returning players come back, they'll get tips and they'll go away, I guess. The addition of set damage per second DPS or DPS display position has been added to options, so you can move around where your DPS meter actually is. in 3 different locations. Specifications have been changed so that items that have reached the purchase limit with another account are grayed out. Okay, thank you. That's very nice, because seeing them still makes it kind of annoying. To look into somewhere else to make sure that you have purchased all of them. Backdrops to edit ARC's IDs can be unlocked with title points have been added. Specifications have been changed so that it's possible to skip the prologue for first character created. I don't think this really matters very much, but I guess in case you're first starting the game, you don't really care about the story or whatever, and you want to just get to the game and try it out. That's a W, so that's pretty cool. Character creation specifications have been changed so that the following options are now saved in looks: adjust eye size, adjust eye horizontal position, and motion based type. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It's actually helpful whenever you're swapping between type 1 and type 2. Creative space, the maximum number of Genesis points that can be acquired now has been changed from 100,000 to 15,000. From 100,000 to 150,000. Wow, if I could read it, help. A function in which the position and rotation of angles place build parts can be adjusted more precisely, and creative spaces has been added. Creative spaces are going even more insane by the day. Specifications have been changed so that the height of the terrain can be adjusted when editing build options in creative space. Rentals C space 3 has been added to creative spaces. Specifications have been changed so that an error message is displayed if a change cannot be made when trying to change the theme in creative spaces. Okay, so specification have been changed so that data pod and ARC's decoy build parts do not respond to stamp chat commands. Okay, wait, hold on. Specification have been changed so that data pods and ARC's decoy build parts do not respond to stamp chat commands. That was a thing? Okay, the more you know. Specifications have been changed so that the number of build parts contained in a design are displayed under set. Okay, that's fine. Dude, specifications have been changed. Gotta love it. For purchase build parts in creative spaces, the items can be displayed separately. Cool. Setting in the build options of creative spaces in which character is displayed as semi-transparent has been added. Awesome. And changes have been made to the conditions in order of display in featured creative spaces so that more creative spaces may be highlighted. Sick. And this looks like this is a bunch of items that have been added. Holy crap. All right, we got a few more to go through here real quick. Let's go ahead and get through these. All right, so items. New items have been added to the product list of the exchange shop in item exchange Kavaris, and Master Cube has been added to the product list. Product list of the item exchange shop under. Oh, okay. You can make an. Okay, so now you can exchange for and Master Cubes as well. High Kavar Domina has been added to the product list, so Kavar Domina is now here. High Kavar Domina is now a thing. So I mean, we have High El Domina, High Red Domina, High Kavar Domina. We'll take a look at what that is in game in just a little bit. Following items have been added to the product list in the item recycle. So we also have add preset skills 1 and end rare drop rate plus 100% for an hour, which is solid. People have been asking for the rare drop rate for X cubes for a very, very long time. I'm glad they're adding this in, though I've always said that rare drop rate is a myth. So do this as you will. Some of the items from the Halloween 2023 special scratch have been added to the special scratch lineup. Awesome. So special scratch has gotten a bit of a bump. Following items have been added as reward reward for weekly tasks to visit creative spaces. So you can now get customization discs for weekly for creative space visiting. The following new items have been added to the exchange shop ARC's record badge exchange. Oh, I see. Oh, Borgana Almaty. That is actually awesome. Okay, I'm really excited about that. I love that one. If I remember correctly, I believe that one's the red one, so I'll have to check that out in a little bit. I think that's what that is. So I'm actually very excited to go check out the ARC's record badge shop now. The following items have been added to rewards for trials tames. So 9-star armor, addition to the exchange shop. Okay. Item Kavar exchange. So Reso, okay, that's cool. The exchange quantity limit for exchanging Neos Astrian Aegis and Saturday series has been removed. Thank God. Like, this has been needed for a while now. The item exchange quantity for the following items have been increased from 1 to 5 from the trader. Thank you. Again, absolutely needed for a while now. We need more data. We need more Aegis souls. Now, also add something in where you can where you get more Aegis souls for completing the respected urgent quest, and then it'll be a perfect W. Specifications for item recycle have been changed so the following items can be exchanged as target count bonus items. Cool, I guess. Specification has been changed so the following preset skills selected at random from enhancing preset skills can be obtained. Yeah, so you can now get these from doing the enhanced preset skills at the item lab. The potency for the potential Everbright unit has been decreased. If it's yeah, so I'm not sure, does it show the values here? I don't think it shows the values, but we'll try to go over them in game. I don't think this tells us, right? Yeah, so what they're basically saying is because they were going to adjust the values of something like Fixa Termina and increase it, they were going to adjust the value of Everbright unit, which I believe is Verschmelt's potential. They're going to decrease how strong it is. That way it doesn't become overly powerful to compensate for the change. It is actually a buff overall, but they needed to balance it out with that potential specifically because it would have been a massive buff for that weapon, overly buffing it where they didn't really want it to. The names of preset skill enhancement support items have been changed to as follows. Before as preset skill enhancement substitute, after it's preset skill enhancement material not required. I see. Well, I guess technically that is better, but it's silly. The attack power for the 9-star rarity Monocaris weapon has been increased. Wait, what? Monocaris weapon can be obtained by purchasing. Oh, these are the weapons that you get from boosting, basically. And that specification changes. The NPC Archie side task. One decision purchase build parts has been changed to buy. Okay, it's been buy build parts. Specifications have been changed. So some parts of the main story event scenes can be skipped while voices are playing. Cool. Okay, that is all of just the patch note changes. These are all the system changes. Now we can actually go into what has been added to the game. Let's top over to February information. So part 6 of the story is, or I guess the final part of the main story is finally here. So Ina strives to keep up with training instructor for rookie arcs despite her worries. People have this divisive opinion over Ina and like, I don't like her, she doesn't really do anything, whatever, blah 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 blah. I don't like her as much as I like base PSO2. Some of the base PSO2 what's it called, NPCs or companions, but like the expectations that people have for these characters is absolutely insane. Ina's a freaking kid, dude, who lost her dad very early on and was thrust into having to deal with a whole lot of crap, man. And they're like, oh, we do so much. Yeah, man, we do a lot. We're the Guardian. Like, we have always done a lot. We have always done vastly more than everyone else. The only person who's ever been on our level, I swear, has been Faleg. And then she's the one who's been able to kick the crap out of us, and we haven't really wanted to fight her again. So that does not surprise me. But I do also sympathize those who kind of like, whatever, she's boring. She does have very much a like, woe is me sort of attitude. And I'm hoping that that gets sealed off a little bit more as she grows up. But I expect her to have a woe is me sort of attitude. She's a 16-year-old who just grew up without her dad. After he had basically almost coddled her entire life. So that's pretty much par for the course as far as what I'm concerned. But it looks like she's trying to strike off and do her own thing. My concern, though, is that she's worried and they're headed off to Redham, and Redham is a pretty rough place, apparently, for people. So we'll have to see. Rikul and Ruka, I feel like they're introducing these characters to us because they want us to see them as they grow up, right? Like, I feel like this is getting to a point of like a time skip of some sort, or we're going to be leaving for a while. So we'll be able to complete our long-range scouting mission in one piece. We'll have to see. I'm a fan of Rikul's super cool ear stuff going on here. His piercings, man, and his super sick hair, man. He's so cool. No, I'm joking. Big updates to all the Kavaris fields. So ancient enemy levels increase in the Rayjord Gorge, plus recon giants and gigantics will now spawn, and a new Starless Dread enemy. Grand torch stands and torch stands at various locations in the Rayjord Gorge. This is actually huge. This is awesome. So utilize the grand torch stands and torch stands to take on powerful enemies in Rayjord Gorge. What these are going to do is they give you a buff that allows you not to experience like the freezing cold buff thing that they have going on in the Rayjord Gorge, and then you can extend it by going to the smaller ones. It also lets you do a bit of extra follow-up fire damage whenever you're attacking, so it does a bit more damage and also keeps you from having to deal with the cold freezing mechanic, which is super awesome. It depends on how much these are placed around, and if these are strategically placed at like spawn enemy locations, or whether or not this will be annoying. So we'll have to see. New rank added to the combat sector Belladonna Ruins, increase enemy levels, plus new Starless enemies. There is a new Starless boss that's in the spawn over here, which is pretty cool. They added in like more dash rings, which I don't know if that's just running dash or if that's for the board. If it's for the board, it's kind of whatever, but we'll have to see. But this is pretty par for the course. This has been the case since PSO whenever ever levels go higher, they always just add a new rank of the stuff that we currently have along with other stuff. So that's pretty standard. Red containers in more locations, you might get the materials for the 10-star. You might get the materials for the 10-star Rayjord weapon series and the 9-star armor series. So it looks like there is the new weapon series, basically Kaiser 2.0, and a new armor. New armor looks pretty good. I'm a fan. It looks like it's going to be the series. Basically, they're doing exactly what I figured, where these orange armors are going to be the default, and they'll have the newer armors that'll release later on down the line if you really want to go after those. But they're not doing the purple armors anymore, so it's pretty safe to say you can probably go after these armors if you want to be an early adopter, or if you want to wait a little while and get more specialized with it, get a bit more stat out of either HP or PP. It looks like that might be the play. Then you would have to just wait a little while. We don't know what the drop rates on those are going to be like, so we'll have to wait and see. Tames trapping will also now occur in Kavaris and Ilios. That's pretty cool. New limited tasks and titles. Gigantics with increased enemy levels will also spawn in the exploration sectors outside of Rayjord Gorge, and remove the enemies following dread enemies in Ilio and Kavaris, making them easier to defeat. Yeah, they're getting rid of extra enemies around dreads, which is nice. We're going to level 85 with new class skills added for Ranger and Gunner, balance adjustments, and major updates to effect. So we're going to level 85, but then just Gunner, Ranger getting new updates. This is kind of a weird spot to be in because like getting level 85 is cool, but it doesn't really do anything for a lot of classes. It used to be that when you got level ups, you got more skill points, so it also added into more skills. So more level ups were more impactful at the time. Now they're not really as much, so it's like cool. Level 85 is just kind of something to do. Get you a bit more extra points. I'm not sure how much stronger we're going to get from hitting 85. From going to 75 to 80, it wasn't actually a huge jump in stats, so it just, you know, kind of it kind of ruins a couple of solo challenges because now you're a little higher, so it's a little bit easier, but it might make some of them actually possible. So we'll have to see what 85 actually does for us. But hopefully after we get through the point of all the balance adjustments for all the different classes, the expansions for all of them, we get back to like levels actually give us something that's meaningful, because right now they really don't, and that's a bit of a bummer. Other updates: new ranks added to the urgent quest, mining rig defense, Kavaris, and remnant of ambition. So yeah, remnants of ambition is probably gonna be the quest, like the big boss fight quest in Kavaris, that's gonna stick around. The other ones have been removed, which I talked about this in my other video yesterday, where basically the big boss fights are what PSO2 does well. That, and they always do mining rig. It's what they do well, and it's what they honestly should stick to. Fights like the next Vera, like Dustle, like Pettis, those fights, though cool, don't really feel like urgent quest fights to me. Like they like, some of the bosses are fairly large. Like Pettis was pretty big, but they didn't really feel like an actual urgent quest boss fight. And I feel like those fights, specifically like things like next Vera, Didal, things that can actually spawn in the open world, I don't think they really should be urgent quest boss fights. I feel like urgent quest boss fights should be something specific that only spawns in the urgent quest, and having that separation makes them more interesting to fight more often. So even if it is just like having them also in like triggers or something like that. So I feel like that's what's happening, is they're doing that sort of separation now, and I think it's pretty cool. So additional tasks accomplished by new urgent quest ranks. Yep, okay, cool. Arcs record, Broken World 2 exclusively for Ranger and Gunner. Bummer, but I mean, I got to experience this with Bouncer, so now it's Ranger and Gunner's turn. And then Arcs record, Field Race, West Kavara stash for all classes. A new theme in creative space and more. So we have the Kavaris theme now. A new feature that allow you to tweak position and angle of build parts. Yep, we saw that. And then use the mining rig build parts from the AC Scratch or AC shop if you want to traumatize your friends for mining rig. You can now go to select player space from the friends list or nearby characters. That's awesome. And then Genesis points can be earned by completing limited tasks involving creative spaces. They added the ability to auto join. So you having auto join party or in your party settings on, parties will automatically form. The players who also have this turned on for the start of multi-party during trials and combat sectors and at PSC burst starts. This is awesome. I would honestly just have this turned on all the time personally. Just have parties form around you. Probably best case scenario. Previously, people liked the whole like putting a party marker on the ground, people walked up to it and joined it or whatever. Since NGS was more freeform, was more open world, they didn't do the party marker thing again. They did it from like nearby players, which is effectively the same thing, but players just didn't use it the same way. They didn't click on other players, even though it broadcasted over the player's head. They didn't look at nearby enemy. It didn't look at nearby player list, even though it broadcasted over that as well. So hopefully this just does it for you, and you guys can just be in a party whenever you need to. So I'll have this turned on. It'll make it very easy to join parties. That way we can just, you know, get the extra boosts that you want to have, because it's worth having them, because it does give you extra try boosts. If possible, to activate the auto join function at specific times. Even if auto join party is turned off, a prompt can be displayed. You have auto join party prompt on. Okay, so yeah, you can have the prompt turned on, so like at specific times you can join a party if you don't want it to always join a party for you automatically. In various improvements and new features, reduce waiting times. I think we talked about most of these already. Yes, we did talk about all these. Okay, cool. Let's move on from there. And then preset skills getting buffed. We talked about those as well. The AC scratch ticket Street Smart. Actually not super excited for this one. This kind of felt a little bit meh. I don't know. It just wasn't my vibe, honestly. Cast parts are cool, but that's about it. This just really wasn't my vibe. The breakdance freeze is actually pretty awesome. It's funny because I'm a big fan usually of like street themed outfits or like urban themed outfits, or, you know, casual themed outfits, and this one just like, I don't know, I feel like maybe we've gotten too many of them at this point. And this one just still looks very sci-fi, you know, sci-fi and street themed fashion, I guess is what they're going for, so that's fair. But the vertical float is a W for cast players. And that looks like it's about it as far as new content being added. We talked about preset skills, so we're good there. We got some deals in the AC shop, so it looks like they're doing Grand Dread Keeper S. I hate to say it, but this is definitely worth. But again, they only give you one, and it's for buying the 90-day pack, so use it at your own risk. If you need to buy your premium 90 days, hey, good time to go ahead and pick it up. TA customization disc. I mean, it's nice, but not really necessary. It doesn't really make a huge impact or anything along those lines. The Grand Dread Keeper is pretty big though. And then booster, super savings booster deal. Okay, so this is for 200 AC. Gives you RDR 200% and experience earned. I mean, RDR 200% is nice for only 200 AC. That's actually pretty solid. This is kind of whatever. We get plenty of experience boosts, so not too worried about that. And that is about it for the AC shop sale. This is what popped up. It's gonna be funny if this is the reason why they extended maintenance, but looks like there's some problems with the is it distinct double eyelids? Is it the eyelids that like move with you when you close your eyes and stuff like that? Were displayed thicker than intended. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're just thick. Confirmed. Sega does not like thick. Anyway, known issue update. So looks like length of wavy hair is becoming unlocked while configuring loadouts. Rotation and size of the accessory for the eyelids is weird. And in the preview of reward box and some slot items, okay, that's fine. Nothing super crazy there. Let me double check a few things before we jump in game. All right, back by popular demand, we have our in-game segment. We check out everything that you'll see when you log in. So we have just logged in. Check mail. Okay. Check personal personal messages later. Do appreciate you guys sending me this message. That's super cool of you. Looks like we have the return. Okay, cool. So we have the extra 100 star gems from the call to arcs, and then 100 star gems reward 2. Okay, cool. So yeah, we have what, 200 star gems for that. Anything in here I want on my other character? I don't think so. So I can grab those. Awesome. We have the new AC scratch ticket. Now, Skulls will be covering Street Smart on her channel. So in case you're curious about seeing, you know, more of the AC scratch ticket, you can check it out over on her channel. I'll leave a link in the video description to the video once it goes live. So either way, you guys will know. Mission pass is still mission pass. Let's check out the counter, actually. Hold on one second. Let's move a few things around here on my end. Let's check out the Arcs record counter because it's going to show off the new weapon as well. though I have to remember where everything is in Kavaris because I never come over here. So if we take our record badges, oh yeah, yep, Branaga's here. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love this camo. Love this camo. Super happy to see it here. Oh, Resurger's back as well. Okay, nice, nice. Oh, and Obscure is back too. Whew. Lemire CV, Obscure CV is back as well. That's actually super awesome. Okay. I'm very hyped about that. Okay, so here's the Rayjord weapons. They don't look bad. They look terrible, honestly. We've got our ARC's record badges, so that's good. We have enough to pick up an extra one. We'll need two. We can take a look at them, I believe. Rezo has them. Yeah, so we need 500 icicle orbs. Actually, the fact that we saved our icicle orbs is a good thing. Oh, icicle cubes. Icicle cubes is what we need, not icicle orbs. We need 500 icicle cubes. Wait, I don't have icicle cubes. Did I burn my icicle cubes? I think I did. That's unfortunate. I think I saved my orbs and I burned my cubes. That's unfortunate. All right, well, we'll have to farm up icicle cubes again. Cubes were never that big a deal, I believe. I think orbs were the like really irritating one from having to do red box farming. So I'll have to see how this ends up shaking up, or I could be like in the worst position possible. Maybe there's some trade-ins for them. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh no, it was definitely actually, was it? I'm starting to, well, again, I'll come back to it. We'll check it out. We'll figure it out from there. So we can't see anything going on too much there. Let's go ahead and check out what the exchanges are for that. I could be in a very bad way and not even know it. Let's take a look over other enhancement materials. So apparently we should have the ability to exchange for other things. We'll take a look at High Kavar Domina. So Kavar Sovereign, Belladonna notes, and Lostria notes that will be needed for these. So these prices are going to start to climb up quite a bit. I do believe they mentioned the ability to trade for NX cubes, right? I don't see that here though. There's going to start being some usefulness for the target class cubes, because with all of the bouncer class cubes that I have that I don't need right now, I'll be able to get a lot of NX cubes. It's going to cost 10 per, right? Like that's 700 class, that's 700 X cubes, but still, that's still going to be very, very useful. Let me see if I can find, it might be the recycle. Let's check that really fast. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. So yeah, these have been added in. This is really good. It's 6 per. So it'll cost you 60 X cubes. That's not too bad. And that's what, per week? Yeah, that's per week. Okay. And then this is, you get 3 of these, it looks like, per week as well. I'm just gonna pick up, no, I can actually get them all on this character here. So I'm gonna pick that up here as well. Looking down, I don't see anything else too crazy here. I'm gonna scroll through here really quick. Could have sworn that they did say master cubes as well, but I could have been missing that. Yeah, let me go double check something here really quick, guys, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I was not crazy. It does say, and Master Cube has been added to the product list under the item lab, or at the item lab under exchange, or under exchange enhancement materials and other materials. So it's possible this might just have not been added in, maybe a bug. Let's double check that to make sure we're not crazy and losing it. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yeah, item lab, enhancement materials, other enhancement materials. There should be an exchange for and master cube. So that looks like that wasn't added in. Maybe it's a typo that was in there. Maybe that's supposed to be for like next week. Maybe it's a bug that it's not listed there. It might be like with a weekly reset or something along those lines. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to know, but unfortunately it is not there as of right now. So we'll have to go ahead and send in a ticket to make sure that they are aware of that. Outside of that, I believe that's pretty much everything we wanted to take a look at. We saw the new High Kavar Domina. Oh, there's anything else here that you exchange for, at least from what I can see here. Let's take a look at the other exchange shop really quick here. It looks like apparently they increased the oh, they changed the Kavaris one, right? Here we go, icicle orbs. You know what? This isn't too bad. Because you can exchange for this stuff. Okay. You can exchange for icicle cubes as well. Exchange orbs for cubes. Exchange orbs for more orbs. Okay. Okay, so I mean, at least there is an exchange, so that's really nice. And then this is just directly here as well. Okay. So there's more exchanges. This gives us a reason to farm some other stuff as well, like grabbing the notable Kavaris meat, grabbing the notable Kavaris squid, and the notable Kavaris meat here as well. And notable Kavaris salmon. Like these are basically gives you a reason to grab those items, which is nice. It is going to help out for some exchanges. It looks like you can do 25, 100, 150 of these. So it does limit how many you're able to do based on that, but it is not the end of the world. So you can get orbs, and I believe, do you need orb ones? You don't need orb ones at all. So exchanging for these is actually just an objective W, no matter what you look at it. So exchange for as many of these as you can. You're going to be basically blocked out by your notable Kavaris meat and your Blizzardium, but that's actually pretty good. Outside of that, I believe they also changed the Arcs record. I'm sorry, you looked at that already. Where is it? Aegis Integra exchange. So this now should be unlimited, which it is. Fantastic. Thank you. Now I actually don't mind about getting these because then I can exchange them for these souls and get more Aegis Integra souls. Thank God. That thing is you should only get one, or I'm sorry, you get 10 per exchange, which sucks. It means we only get 50 total, but it does mean we do get more Aegis Integra souls, and that is good. Don't know why this is still capped. Uncap this a lot more, please. That'd mean getting Neosastrian weapons would not be as bad actually from some of these, because realistically speaking, outside of the use case of exchanging them, they're pretty much useless. Yo, post edit chrono here, just interrupting the video real quick because there are some things I did forget to include, of course, as is tradition. But I did want to make sure this video was completed and whole. I didn't want to have to split anything up into other video portions. You guys will see later. I might go into like more detail on some of these things, but we do have the actual preset skill changes. We do also have some stuff going on with the units, as well as the new red boxes that were added. So let's go ahead and pull that up here really quick so you guys can take a look. Oh yeah, and I didn't forget you gunners and rangers out there. We'll be looking at the gunner and ranger skill trees in just a sec here too. All right, so here is the actual, let me make this a little, can I make smaller, a little smaller? Can I move you over? I can't. I'm just in the way, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna make myself disappear. I'm gonna go, goodbye. All right, so here is a table chart of the effects before and after. This was put together by, I'm not sure if Uber put it together, but Uber did post this. So shout out to Uber for going ahead and hooking us up with this here. Much easier to understand. But we can see, so fixed attack went from 2 to 7% and is 9% at the cap and 5% here. So it did just kind of increase across the board. Fix a fatale went from 5 to 14% at the low end and 13 to 22% at the high end. So a pretty big jump in crit rate, which is massive actually when it comes to fix a fatale. So this is gonna be really good for classes that are still trying to get enough crit rate to make crit damage matter even more. And fix a termina has gone from 6% at the low end to 16% at the high end and 15 to 25%. So it's a 10% damage increase overall for Fix a Termina. This is why we saw such a change when it came to Verschmelz. Verschmelz took, I think, like a 3% hit, but it got a 10% buff. So it's pretty substantial overall. I believe it's like a 3 or 4%. Don't quote me on that. It's roughly about that amount. They took a 3 or 4% hit in their potency, but got a buff on Termina by objectively 10% across the board. So this is fine. Like, this is fantastic. It's overall a buff. Fix a Wix was 2% for potency. That still says 2%, but the weak point potency did go up from 2 to 6% at the high end of 9% and from 5%. So that's pretty awesome. Blaster did take a little bit of a hit from what I understand. I believe the potency increased, but the photon blast potency decreased. So yeah, so it was 1.75 on the low end, is now 6% on the high end, and then went from 15% on the high end to 12%. So took a bit of a hit on the photon blast potency, but it did give it more potency buff. So I'm not sure why they went that route with this. I feel like Fix a Blaster should have stayed with the whole photon blast thing. I kind of like its niche. But this might be better from a balancing perspective overall for people that are using Fix a Blaster, but want to also use that weapon itself, right? They don't have to have two separate weapons, so that's fine. Enthusia went from 2 to 4%. It went up on the high end to 6% from 5, so that's pretty cool. Looks like it got more of a buff on the low end, but not as much of a buff on the high end. Natural went from 2 to 5%, so it got more of a buff on the low end again, not as much of a buff on the high end. Performa cost went from 1% to 3%. This is pretty substantial. So low end Performa is actually really nice. Fix a Guard went from 1% to 3%. Again, low end got more of a buff than high end. Also very nice. And Increzia, which is the natural PB generation, the natural PB, but natural PB generation went from 4 to 7%, and the high end stayed the same. So the low end, it looks like a lot of the armor fixes have been buffed pretty substantially, so that's pretty awesome. Nice to see that come in clutch, but we'll have to see how that shakes up the overall meta for us. So I'm excited to see more about this. Also, these weren't really noted in the patch notes. I'm not sure why they didn't, but there are more armors added into the game. So I think as Uber has, we'll come back to this actually. Uber, I think, has a tweet about it. Yeah, here we go. Seems also be the Ina armor, the Ina armor Vio added in, and Vita. You can see Vito and Vita here. And then you can see some of the stats for the armor. So the Vita armor is just the HP variant. The Vio armor is the PP variant. And then the regular one, I believe, is just like HP, PP even across the board. So that's actually pretty nice. It looks like there's 3 different choices when it comes to armor. So you're not really stuck into one of them. It looks like the Vito or the Vita and the Vio armors are also sellable, where the main one is not. I believe the regular one is going to drop more often, where the other ones will not be as available, or the other ones will not be as available. I imagine they might be a bit rarer, but they will be tradable. So keep that in mind if you're building up your armor. It's nice to have something that's more available that you can build up towards, but the downside is that after you're finished with the armor, unless you're repurposing it to something else, you then end up in a situation where you can't really do anything with it, at least as of right now. Don't give us the ability to transfer our augments over just yet. It'd be cool if they did. That would probably, cut the cost of a lot of armors on the market. It would make it a bit more difficult for people to play that catch-up game by buying old people's armor or people's old armor. But I digress. It's just something I'll have to keep in mind. We also have just pretty much a map of where all the new red boxes are. You guys can see the new red boxes here listed. I'll leave a link to the Twitter post. Again, this is over on Uber's Twitter. Super, super helpful. Also, make sure to wish them a happy birthday. It's their birthday today. So make sure to wish them a happy birthday. Super, super cool of them to go ahead and post all this stuff up here for us. Thank you again. It looks like, and I believe he posted it as well. If I scroll up and find it, here we go. This is basically the main result of the 12 new red boxes in Kavaris. So you're going to get yourself 36 more Icicle Cube 2s and 144 more Icicle Orb 2s. So we'll have to see about the rest and how long it takes to gather the rest of those. I'll be basically rushing the rest of that today, because tomorrow we have a new game to play. So we'll be playing some Grand Blue Fantasy. So that should be pretty fun. And let us go ahead and pull up the game so we can take a look at the skill tree stuff. So one sec. All right. Don't think I forgot about you, Rangers. I mean, I did forget about you. I'm sorry, but don't worry. We're here. All right. So Ranger, looks like we have launcher BR time extension. So when a sticky bomb is applied with a weapon action, when a sticky bomb applied with a weapon action explodes, or a charged divine impact or fear eraser hits an enemy, the effect time of any active blight rounds you fired on that enemy restarts. So you can restart blight round. That's actually pretty awesome. That's what they were trying to show us in that video, and I just didn't understand it before. Okay. That looks like that's the one seal that they got. So you can now reset the timer on blight rounds. That's pretty cool. And Gunner got chain finish party PP gain. So it looks like, and I'll get out of the way here really quick. Give me 1 second. I am in the way. Can I move myself to the other side maybe? No, I cannot. That is going to not get me out of the way. Hold that thought. There we go. All right. Now I'm out of the way. So chain finish party PP gain. It looks like activating a chain finish will cause other players in your party to recover a certain amount of PP based on the chain number. It looks like there's only one level to it, and it is 99 you get 10 PP, 119 you get 50, 149 you get 75, and at 150 you get 150 PP back. That is pretty massive, to be honest. Though it gives Gunner some, well, I guess it gives Gunner some party synergy, right? So like people can the idea of taking Gunner is more advantageous, but I don't feel like this addresses Gunner's actual issues. So like, unfortunately, this is a swing and a miss, I think, personally. It's cool because from the perspective of Gunners being able to go into parties more often now, like having a Gunner is like, okay, cool, Gunners are helping out the group. You're helping with PP generation, right? But you still have the situation of your counters doing so small amounts of damage. I think they buffed it. I think they might have adjusted it. So this might just be a skill tree thing, right? It might not be indicative of what actually has happened for Gunner. I haven't looked at all the numbers for Gunner changes. We'll have to wait until those are available. Again, maybe we'll talk with Helvian again to see what he has to say about it. But the fact that, you know, this doesn't really fix the problem of uncoupling them from Ranger. Ranger, I think Launcher did get a lot of changes that Rangers have asked for. And this does also give the ability to extend Blight rounds, but also it'd be really nice if they got a skill that just made it so Blight round always landed wherever you were locking onto. That'd been super cool. Or maybe just a change for Blight rounds so that happens. Maybe that is what's happened. Who knows? But that would have been, I think, a much more wanted change than just this. I mean, the ability to extend Blight rounds is not something that I'll ever scoff at. I mean, I may be underestimating how valuable this actually is, as I am not a Ranger main. Maybe we'll have another talk with Kissimmee and see how they feel about the changes after they get properly tested. Maybe we'll have another one of those. So either way, cool. I don't think these are objectively bad changes. I think they just aren't as exciting as we would have wanted them to be, to be perfectly honest. Okay, I think that's everything. Back to regular scheduled programming. But today's video is going to be super long because there was a lot to go over and I wanted to make sure to not miss anything, and I might have still missed something. But let me know if I did in the video description below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more. I'll see you all next time. Take care, my friends. Peace out.